Hello everybody, welcome to another Junk Journal with me video. I'm doing a lot of collage in this video actually. I'm coming to the end of this journal and you kind of get to the point where you're really trying not to bulk it out even more than it already is, and it's harder to work in because it's very bulky in places. So as I said, trying to do things that don't create as much bulk. For this first spread, what I'm using for my collage fodder, if you like, is actually some leftovers from another project which you will see in a couple of weeks, a mixed media project. And as I said, I had some leftovers from that project, and instead of putting them in my stash and not seeing them again for however many years, I thought I'll keep them out on my desk and actually use them straight away. It's only a few bits of some Tim Holtz tissue paper, collage paper, some book pages, and then there's some really sweet little embellishments I made by stamping and embossing and then fussy cutting on vellum, which is that little flower and leaf flourish you can see on the left there. I'm using Distress Vintage Collage Medium to put these down, which is just normal collage medium but with the sort of tea dye effect. I really like it. I'm sure there's sort of a cheaper way of getting around that, but I just like getting this version because I'm lazy. Once I put those bits of tissue paper and the book pages down though, I was a bit like, oh, I still need more collaginess on this page. So I have a folder which has all bits and scraps of tissue paper, rice paper, that sort of thing, where I have all the little bits and pieces left over from projects and pulled out a few bits from that. Couldn't tell you where they're from or anything like that. And then also adding some ripped up bits of washi, and I am going over the top of the washi with that vintage collage medium, so matchy all those bits match with each other. And then to make the page a little bit more interesting, I decided to take some Distress Oxide spray in the colour Vintage Photo and just adds colour where like the lines of all the different collage pieces meet. Then I'm going to take an aqua brush or a water brush, whatever you prefer, to move that colour around, but it still wasn't moving it around enough. So those lines were still a little bit too defined for what I wanted. So I'm going to spray some water on that, but then also mop it up really quickly because I hadn't gessoed this page or anything. Adding water is a bit of a, bit dangerous. So as I said, I mopped it up really quickly to help prevent it going through to other pages and stuff. It does go through to that other page a little bit, but it's fine. I don't really care. It is a junk journal at the end of the day. It was more preventing it from falling apart that I was more concerned about. So drying that off, I think that looks so much better with, the sprayed on water, makes it look a bit more natural. Then adding a few splatters as well, because I can't help myself. I have to add splatters. That just happens. As well as all those leftover pieces I mentioned, I decided I have this box which is full of bits and pieces of die cuts and ephemera from various projects over the years, things that like pen pals send you, and as I said, leftovers from other projects. So I went through and found some bits that I thought might match. That vellum piece there was left over from the original project I told you about. It's from Marry Me Small Art, which sadly, if you're in the UK, you can't order at the moment because she doesn't ship to the UK right now. Oh, which reminds me, if you are in the EU, also hello, we miss you, we love you. But also, if you have you been thinking about ordering from my shop, then try and do it before July the 1st when your new tax rules come in, because after that you will have to pay tax on anything you buy from the UK and other countries. I don't fully understand all the rules, I just know what applies to the UK because, well, that's where I live. So anyways, just a little side note there, just in case. Anyways, back to it. Made a little pocket out of that vellum piece with red line tape on two corners because, as we all know, vellum can be a right pain to stick down on things. I basically just don't use either red line tape or staple it on. And then creating various little embellishment clusters using all of my bits and scraps. I found this little die cut love, which is on like copper foil paper. So I put that on top of the vellum embellishments and did it so that the L of the love covers up the staple as well. Just a little trick there. I don't mind seeing staples at all, like it doesn't bother me, but I feel like if there's an opportunity to cover them up, sometimes it's nice to do that. Then that top left corner was annoying me. It needed something, so I just grabbed some bits. I think they're Tim Holtz ephemera. Went around everything. I'm using gathered twigs to go around everything instead of Vintage Photo. Because I'd used Vintage Photo in the background, I thought if I used it to go around all my embellishments, it might wash out a bit. Wash out's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Using the different kind of brown helps them stand out a little bit more. This little card here, I think it's from an old Kaisercraft collection. Again, it was just in my box of leftover bits. I'm going to use that as my little journaling card, journaling spot. Those postcard pieces I'm using, they are printables from my shop, but as some of you will know, I have them both as downloads and physical items as well for people who can't or won't print. And I've been printing some off for an order, and then my printer was having an off day, and I have loads which are like half printed or slightly badly printed, and eventually I fixed the problem, it was fine, but I do have all these postcard printables that are not perfect, so obviously I've just kept them for myself, because why not? I don't want to throw them away, because I don't throw away anything, but they're not good enough to sell, so I keep them for me. And I finished decorating that off, that's not a thing, decorating that with a couple of rub-ons, and that's pretty much it for those pages. This is going to be another one, lots of collage to make a background, and then whap a photo on the top of it. I'm just using my HP sprocket here to print off the photo, and I've got the page on the other side that's got the dog and the kitten, because this journal was made out of an old Ladybird book called Puppies and Kittens. I kept some of the pages, mostly the kitten ones, because I am a cat person, but I do love dogs as well. This picture is, I love it. It was only taken the other day. My sister / niece's dog, Cody, he's a very cute little guy. He will not sit on anyone's lap in the car apart from my sister. Like, he has attachment issues when it comes to my sister. He will not sit, as I said, he will not sit on anyone else's lap. He refuses. And then I get in the car and he jumps up and he gives me a big lovely greeting, and then he settles on my lap and goes to sleep. And my sister was like, he has never done that, like, not even to my niece, whose dog he technically is. Anyway, I was chosen, I was special, I got my other niece to take a photo, and I had to document it because I was so honoured and special and chosen by Cody the dog, so yay for me. So background wise, I have vintage book pages torn up, some washi tape, one of those postcard bits that I mentioned, a couple of rub-ons, and then also adding little bits of washi around the photo to make it kind of look like the washi's sticking that on. I'd cut or ripped a larger postcard printable, one of the failed printables, that to make it into a little journaling journaling spot flip out thing, and I needed to do something with that other page to really make that page a feature of the other one, because it's got the dog on it, and that was the whole point. So I decided to put the flip out on there, but I also wanted to add a little bit of decoration to that page to make it my own. So I got a piece, this is a really, really super wide washi, and ripping it up I was able to use it for lots and lots of different things and add bits of it here and there for extra decoration. I'm tipping it in with a scrap of washi on one side but sellotape on the other side, because as I always do when I journal on a tip in, I write too far to the edge and then can't use washi to tip it in, because then I'm covering up my journaling, because as I said, I always forget. I need to make little pencil marks or something to remind me, like, don't write over this line so you can use washi to tip it in. But anyways, more washi, quote sticker, and pages done. Same sort of thing on these pages as well. As I said at the beginning, I am really coming to the end of this journal. There will probably be only one more video in this particular journal. I've already made my next one, and I am filling it up with mostly decoration rather than any particular events or anything, because I feel like when I journal events, I always want to make in pockets and tip-ins and interesting things like that, and that adds all of the bulk. I don't know. So, and I get into this mentality when I'm nearing the end of the journal of just throwing stuff in it to finish it off. I don't know. So on here, as you saw, more washi. That scrap of paper there with the hearts on, you may have seen it in a video recently where I had used that heart stamp on another project and then stamped it on a scrap of paper to get rid of the excess ink, and I said I would keep it and use it in another project, and here we are, here I am using it. I added Distress Oxide in Tattered Rose around the parts where that heart stamped scrap of paper wouldn't go, and then again I'm using another one of these little failed postcard printables as a little area of interest, but because where I put that on the page, it created that straight line right in the center of the page, and I really didn't like that. So I'm taking washi, this is normal size washi, ripping it in half and then sort of putting it back down so it's the same original size that it's meant to be, but swapping over the sides so both edges are a ripped edge. I think that makes sense. That little thing I've got there, the little package with the butterflies in, that was a little freebie that came in an order, and those embellishments are not something I'm particularly going to use in a project, but I thought it might make a cute like little shaker type element, so I just kept it as it was. I didn't open the packaging, kept it as it was, and stapled that in as I said, like a little shaker element. And then here I'm adding a few bits from a Mambi sticker book, some quotes and stuff to add some, you know, areas of interest, things to actually read on the pages. And I think a little bit of washi around that little box quote, and that's probably going to be it for these pages as well. And the next set of pages, you're probably going to hate me by this point, but it's pretty much doing the same thing over again. Scraps of washi, ripped up washi, scraps of book pages, all of the things, collage the things. I don't know, you'll have to let me know in the comments. Do you, when you're coming to the end of a journal, do you still just treat it as normal and carry on journaling what you usually would? Or do you get into this frame of mind of I just need to fill it up and move on to my next journal? Let me know. Is it just me, or do other people do that? Anyway, with this one, I also wanted to use up some, well, not use up, that's not the right word, but I say this all the time in videos, you're probably sick of it, but I have stickers and stuff that I have purchased as shop stock for my journal and junk journal kits, and occasionally you'll get a sticker or something that's a little bit broken, not 100% perfect, so obviously I put those to use for my own personal use. So I had a few of those. They've kind of been building up and I keep forgetting to use them, like that flower one there. The bottom part of it didn't have the backing, so it had lost its stickiness, so when I stuck it down there, I'm putting some washi at the bottom so you can still see the bottom of the sticker, but using the washi to actually stick it down because, as I said, it wasn't sticky anymore. I'm not adding journaling here, I'm just adding verses of poetry, which is my usual go-to when I feel like writing and can't be bothered to think of anything to write. I think this is a couple of verses of The Lady of Shalott, and with that, stickers, washi, collage, all of the things, my pages are done. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Chat to me in the comments. As I said, let me know about like what you do when you come to the end of a journal. Do you try and rush through it to get it finished, or do you just carry on as normal until you get to the last page? What else have I got to say? Links to relevant things in the description box, things from my shop as well as other products and things I've used like the distress oxides and stuff like that. And yep, that's definitely it from me. Thank you so much again. I am going. Bye bye!